There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Hi everyone, welcome to Sci-Fi Talk on Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I am Tim, as Sean Fangirl S is headed to San Diego Comic-Con this week.
And I'm Steve, and today we'll be discussing episode 1 of season 2 of The Ark. So glad this show's back.
Yep, been forever.
Yes, and ratings, well, not good news. It did not make the top 150 cable shows for the night.
What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah, apparently Sci-Fi needs to promote this show a little bit more than they have.
I feel like there's probably a lot of shows that slip into that because they've been on hiatus for so long because of this that people forget.
Yep. So episode 1, failed experiment. Crew must decide the best way forward with or without help from their nemesis, Evelyn Maddox.
Right, let's get started. So we open up where we left off in the season 1 finale with Captain Garnet, Lane, Bryce, and Alicia trapped on the bridge of Ark 1 following the Proxima B explosion, which I am not over yet because the entire planet exploded.
Yeah, just went poof.
Insane.
Yeah.
So, fortunately, the comms and the systems are down, so they can't communicate with the rest of the ship, the kind of little front pod of the ship. So they're trying to go through all that, and we see a shuttle from Ark 15 approach, but not before Garnet gets a little sappy with her fam. She basically is like, I didn't know what a family was, until I met you guys. Hugs all around. Very cute.
Yes.
On the shuttle that is approaching, they meet Kimmy, who is Adeline Maddox, head of security. Very serious. She states she's supposed to take them Ark 15 per Evelyn's orders, but they think she's there to grab them and their other crewmates, which they don't want to leave on the ship because the ship is damaged in a bad way. They don't know if anybody's alive, how many people are hurt because they don't have comms, so they don't really want to go back Ark 15 without getting their crew.
Right.
They kind of insist on that, and Kimmy is like, no, I have orders. So they do go back to Ark 15. They unite with Evelyn, who states that they must repair their FTL drive and chart a course for Trappist 1. I think that's a new planet.
Yes.
Since Proxima B is gone, basically. So you know how Bryce is, right?
Yeah.
He did not like this. He does not like Evelyn. He makes that note. They want to return their ship to save as many people as possible, and they're insistent on it. So Evelyn lets them know that they're down one oxygen cell. So normally they could hold 400 people. Now they can only hold 395 people without that cell, which puts them capacity with the arrival of Garnet, Alicia, Lane, and Bryce. So they would go back and get more people. That would just put Ark 15 in a bad way because they don't have the oxygen to support that. But Garnet kind of plays up to Evelyn, kind of persuades her to let at least Lane and Bryce go back and check on the people on the vessel. So they do. She gives them 24 hours while her team repairs the FTL. In the meantime, Garnet tasks Alicia with Evelyn's permission, of course, to look at fixing the ship's oxygen cell to allow for more people to come on the ship, because Garnet is operating under the assumption that there are going to be people alive that need to come back to Ark 15 as a working ship.
Yeah, for medical reasons at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next, Evelyn brings Garnet to the bridge. Garnet tries to contact Ark 1, but to no avail. Evelyn adds more context regarding the move to Trappist 1. 2 other ships were meant to travel there. Elsewhere, Felix wakes up under a pile of debris. Clambers to his feet before finding Kat on the floor. A glass shard protrudes from her shoulder. She's bleeding profusely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he carries Kat to the med bay, reassuring her that Dr. Kabir will fix her up. After setting Kat on the bed, Felix finds Dr. Kabir trapped under some heavy equipment. She's unconscious. Felix starts administering CPR. Meanwhile, William Trust rushes into the med bay upon spotting Kat. He realizes she's dying.
Can I just say at this point, in my head, I'm like, okay, they can only support 5 more people. So,
Right.
And that's if they get like the oxygen cell working or they use theirs. And I'm like, who are
Right.
these 5 people? Because we have a lot of people that are main characters on this particular arc.
Right. And yeah.
So I'm
I
like
don't
going
think
through my
that's
head.
going to work out.
Yeah, I was like flipping out. And then I see all these people hurt in the worst way. And I'm like, oh my God, are we about to? Oh, it's insane. Speaking of which, during their brief conversation, Kat admits to Trust that she may have had an affair with him because of his money. Oh.
Yeah. And connections.
Exactly. Because they got her on that ship.
Yep.
And she also mentions that he will never be as morally sound as Felix. Kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Poor Trust. I mean, that's difficult to hear. While Felix continues giving chest compressions to the doc, Kat passes away. Rest in peace. And this is like my pearl clutching moment. I'm like, oh, we serious, right? This is really happening.
Yeah, this is really happening.
So I'm like, oh no, okay. So I'm like recalculating in my head, okay, 5 people. I guess she's not going to be one of them. Sad.
No, she won't be one of them, that's for sure.
So even while dying, she admits she, being talkative, like her talk and the way she talks to him right before she died was very like sarcastic and she's pretty funny. I don't know.
Yeah, she was herself up to the last dying breath.
I don't know. I feel like it was very true to that character and it lightened the mood just a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, I was very, I don't know. I was very like shocked. I was very shocked.
Yeah, because we weren't sure that Felix was going to get Kabir revived.
Yeah. I mean, and after this, he successfully does wake her up. But like, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, like right in a row. Because I can't handle that. Like, well, I was like, ready. I did not mentally prepare myself as I sat down to watch it. Okay, so later Evelyn orders Dr. Marsh to ready their med bay for Arc 1's injuries. We see Kelly is still comatose, like kind of out of it. And did she look like the wrong color? Like she was like blue almost like.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. And I thought, there's something definitely not right with her. I'm not sure what.
I know. We'll talk about that in a minute, but because Evelyn calls Kelly a failed experiment, like, and is that just like bad parenting or is she an experiment? And she tells Marsh not to worry about treating.
Yeah, I think she is an experiment. I think she's not completely 100% human.
That's what, and he specifically said, okay, we can activate her just like we did you. And Evelyn was like, what is her chances of waking up? He said 40%. She's like, well, that's a waste. And I'm like, activate? Like, what?
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Pushing the button on Data's neck to reset him.
Exactly, right? And the fact that he said, act like we activated you. And I'm like, well, what are you, Evelyn, besides a mean old woman? Like,
yeah.
So it's very interesting. And that would explain why she's so void of emotion.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Marsh goes against Evelyn's orders, of course, and revives Kelly because he has a soul. Apparently, Kelly could hear their conversation even though she was unconscious. That happened.
Yeah.
And realizes that her mother just doesn't love her, doesn't care. And that's very sad. Then we see Bryce breaking into engineering where Eva is unconscious. At the same time, Lane discovers Angus with glass shards embedded into his chest. And I was like, oh no. He scoops up Angus and then runs off with him. And thankfully, Bryce successfully wakes up Eva because I'm like, again, in my head, I'm counting down.
Yeah, this is not one that needed to die. Can't lose your engineer.
And Eva basically springs into action, realizes that she needs to get life support systems up and running. I mean, she can't even breathe. She's coughing. And Bryce is like, can you please take it easy? Can you calm down for a second? Can you take a minute? Oh,
no.
I have to do this. I have to do that. I'm an engineer. Very very her.
Yeah, and very Scotty-ish. While Felix tends to Kabir, Lane brings Angus into the medbay. Lane sees Kat is dead and offers his condolences to Trust. Lane asks Felix to grab Kabir and take her and Angus to Arc 15. Marsh urges Alicia to stay out of medbay while he and his team perform surgery on Angus. Evelyn scolds Bryce and Lane for bringing more people aboard her ship as they leave to help Arc 1 get back on its feet. Later, Eva and Bryce learn that an explosion occurred in 3B where most of the engineering team is. However, Sasha isn't there, so Eva sends Bryce to search for him. Meanwhile, Marsh completes Angus's surgery, removing the shards from his chest. Unfortunately, he's lost a ton of blood. Marsh asks one of his assistants for a blood bag. However, Evelyn locked their blood stores. He departs to have a chat with Evelyn. Marsh barges into Evelyn's meeting and she reveals he'll now need permission to access the blood bags. Well, that's kind of rude.
I was like, this little kid saved your life. Like,
yeah. After that, Garnett and Alicia join a meeting with Kimmy Marsh and other irritated Arc 15 residents. Marsh and Kimmy propose they take Angus and Kabir back to Arc 1. Oh, and everyone else in the room wants to go with them. They're tired of Evelyn's tyrannical ways.
surprise.
I can't blame them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, she's about to lose like a good part of her ship because even the head of security can't stand you. Can't stand you.
Yeah.
You have no friends. Okay, so let's talk about Angus for a second, shall we? Next, Kelly notices Angus' blood pressure is dangerously low, so he's losing blood, basically, is what happened. So she kind of wakes up Dr. Kabir, who instructs Kelly to grab some adrenaline. Kelly does that, and of course, she went over to Angus like she was going to inject Angus, and Kabir's like, no, it was for me. So she injects herself, which with her injuries is probably not the best idea. So
no, probably not.
I'm over here pearl clutching still. So I'm like, God, what is going to happen? But she hoists herself out of bed and works to stabilize Angus. She needs blood, but Kelly tells her that she thinks the doctor Marsh went to go get some, but he hasn't been back for a long time. So Kelly basically offers her blood and says that she is, I think she said she was O positive or was she O negative? She's one of those.
O negative.
O negative. So the doctor was like, are you sure? And she says yes. So she prepares Kelly to give blood to Angus. And elsewhere, Lane and Felix attempt to save Griff, who is trapped in a bunk bed while live wires are dangling over like a flooded floor. And of course, Felix is the man with his samurai sword, and it's all gravy. He's just in there and he's like, slice. I fixed this all up, and they save Griff. It's funny. Basically climbing over the bed and getting to the cable to slice it. I was like, very impressed.
Yeah, but he almost stepped in the water.
almost dropped there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Alicia hacks into the Arc 15 systems as they are trying to figure out how they can get all these people off the ship without getting caught. So she hacks into Arc 15 systems, locks the doors to buy them some time to escape with Angus, Beer, and those on the ship that want to leave Evelyn in the dust. So they get to the shuttle, and at the same time, Angus kind of wakes up from Kelly's blood. Well, does he wake up? No, he wakes up a little bit before that.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like out of it, and he sees Kelly and like completely like flips out and flinches, and of course he does, for all the stuff that they've been through. And also Kabir kind of is like a little woozy from getting adrenaline when she didn't have proper time to heal. But she's also like, I don't really understand why you could wake up so quickly, Angus, because that's kind of weird. And she turns
and he
to Kelly,
sets up.
I know. And he's like, she turns to Kelly and she's like, what's with your blood? There's something strange there.
Nanobot.
Okay. But then I think Angus passes out again, so that they grab Angus and Dr. Kabir after she injects herself another hit of adrenaline.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. and they head off to the ship.
Yep. Once Evelyn realizes what Garnet and the others are doing, she sends a team to search Medbay. Of course, it's empty. Evelyn contacts Garnet as the shuttle departs. She urges Garnet to turn back. Suddenly, Evelyn switches on the failsafe inside Kelly. Yes, she's got a bomb in her that'll detonate any moment. And they go back and forth about ejecting her or whatever, but Marsh works to deactivate said failsafe while Garnet tries to negotiate with Evelyn.
It's bad parenting.
Yes, Alicia believes they should eject Kelly to save both arcs. After all, she tried to kill Angus before she saved his life. Thankfully, Marsh gets the job done, deactivating the failsafe and ensuring that the shuttle doesn't go boom. Garnet tells Evelyn they'll see her at TRAPPIST-1. Evelyn urges Garnet not to bring Kelly with her to their new homeworld. Damn.
Well, Kelly did say, because she did try to appeal to Kelly to get her to take over that shuttle and bring them back, and Kelly was like, I don't think you want me to see you again. If I do, I will kill you.
Yeah.
And it was very, very cold, just like her mother is, which basically is the reason that the bomb was set off in her.
Yep.
And I don't know if the doctor basically deactivated the failsafe at the same time her mother turned it off, or one happened before the other. But yeah, that was crazy that her mom even put that in.
Yeah.
And the doctor seems to know why, but he didn't explain it. So maybe that's something that we'll find out later. I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Would like to come back to that and why her blood is like magic blood.
Yeah.
And how he just put a little device near her head and she woke up and she went from grayish blue to normal. I'd like to know that.
Yes, anyway, absolutely.
I digress. Back to the recap here. So meanwhile, while this is happening, Brythe finds Sasha, who assists Eva, who's very happy to see him, with shoring up life support. After a spell, they can finally communicate with the ship completely, ship-wide, and communicate with everyone. Bryce sends a message to everyone while Garnet, Alicia, Angus, Kabir, Kimmy, Marsh, and Kelly, and all the others make their way. He encourages the team to hold fast and to hope that they'll get through this together. Sure, they don't know if they have a functional ship, but that's why our crew will have to work together to ensure she'll fly. Thankfully, we start hearing from different sections aboard the vessel checking in. Plenty of survivors that we have still on Earth.
Yes. So that's a good sign that we didn't lose too many people.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it really is. And so hopefully with the engineers from Arc 15 that are supposed to be some of the best,
right,
were the best in the world, they can get up and running.
Yep, on their way to TRAPPIST-1. Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on each and every episode this season. Our deadline for feedback is 6 p.m. Eastern every Friday during the season. You can send your feedback via email or audio to contact us at fangirlzone.com.
Please review and rate us on iTunes and any other platforms you use for our podcast. With good ratings and reviews, it helps other fans find our show. And there are plenty of other ARC podcasts out there, so the more fans we can get, the better. Tell your friends, and I hope you're enjoying our podcast. Don't forget to check out all the other great podcasts that are on Fangirl Zone.
Yes, and you can go to www.fangirlzone.com to find our podcasts, and you can click on the contact tab to find all the different ways you can get a hold of us on our socials and via email. And we have a lot of other podcasts, some golden oldies and some new stuff. The Acolyte, we got the Arc, and we've been doing we're almost to 500 episodes for Sci-Fi Talk. So we've got some really good stuff. Wynonna Earp and Dark Matter and The Expanse and The Magicians. So I'm sure if you go over there and look, you'll find something you'd like to listen to. So for this episode of Sci-Fi Talk, I'm Steve. Do we have a ship to get us there?
And I'm Kim. I cannot believe Proxima B blew up. Until next time.